Malcontent, the feeling of dissatisfaction and rebellion. Malcontent can stem from perceived lack of fulfillment. This feeling may arise when individuals feel that their current situation does not align with their desires or aspirations. It can cause the feeling of something lacking, which can create a sense of unease and frustration. Malcontent also manifests as a strong desire for change, a yearning for a different environment or a new experience. People who are malcontent may look for sources of gratification or distraction in an attempt to fill the void that they feel inside. Aurelion Sol was released on the 24th of March 2016. Jin was released a month prior, and after such a banger of a champion, they followed up with something that we were not expecting. The champion we've been asking for years. Ao Shin, the Storm Dragon. Except not. He was the dragon champion we asked for, but he wasn't a storm god. He was the god of creation. This was a complete left field decision, and players had high expectations. Unfortunately, the champion we now know as Aurelion Sol didn't quite live up to the hype. His gameplay felt awkward and clunky, his passive felt weird to use, his main CC he couldn't even use immediately, and he was pretty much left in the dust compared to all the other control mages at the time. He didn't live up to the fantasy of a star-forging dragon making and destroying stars to his very whim. He never gave you that feeling of making the universe move with a flick of a finger like you wanted. So what did Riot do? They did what was necessary. They gave him some quality of life changes, a new ability, and made the godly space dragon difficult to master, but all the more rewarding to play. His Q was now an instant cast, his W had a timer on it and made you think when and how you were going to use it. His E was more skill expressive, giving you so much more map pressure and game control. This was it. This is what we wanted. This is what we needed. A champion that requires you to think. The gameplay fantasy we all dreamed of, a champion that once mastered could become an absolute monster in any game. You couldn't just turn on your W and whoop, now I do damage. Fucking nope. Now the stars only lasted a couple of seconds. Each star does more damage than the last, your stars move faster, and you get a movement speed bonus at the start and the end of your ability. This W alone made him so much more difficult to master, which is what turned most people off to him. Having to think. People don't want to wait around and learn a champion. Fuck no, if he can't one-shot someone in 0.5 seconds, he goes straight down to hell. Positioning, map awareness, and playing when behind were all things that newer players and old players alike didn't comprehend. The people who mained Aurelion Sol were not those people. They spent time learning him and mastering him to the point where multiple diamond and up accounts started popping up maining Aurelion Sol since he was such a fucking menace in the ladder. It's actually kind of genius when you think about it. Nobody was playing him, so nobody knew how to play around him. Nobody bothered to ban him, so it opened up a door for people who dedicated time to him to thrive. These were Aurelion Sol's golden years. Skill expression, thriving communities, streamers gaining fame. It was good. A little too good. And we all know what Riot does when something gets too good. They gut it like a fish and leave it to rot. They didn't like having a champion only a select few played. They didn't like having people dedicate time to an unpopular pick. They didn't like that you needed to finish the 8th grade to know how to play Aurelion Sol. Nobody asked for this. Nobody was complaining about him. Hell, he was one of the newer champions to the game, so it's not like his kit or look was dated. But Riot did what they do best. Ruin a perfectly good thing. They washed him down, stripped away everything that made him unique, and made the entire new genre that they invented, Space Dragon, completely generic. Now you can just toss him in with the rest of those mid laners that everybody uses. With the new simplistic kit, easy learning curve, and a ridiculous scalings, I was dissatisfied with this rework. People who were somebody used to play Aurelion Sol. Now he's played by everybody, and those somebodies are now nobody. I don't know why Riot hates niche picks. I think those are a good thing. Like when you're eating sour Skittles and suddenly you bite into one that's way more sour than the rest and you're like, whoa! It's an experience that happens so rarely that you're kind of glad when it does happen. This is Aurelion Sol. This right here is A Sol. The thing that everyone who only started playing him since his rework started calling him. Some people say this rework was a positive change and that they're bringing light to a dead champion. I disagree with that. I don't like the state that he's in right now and think the resources that went to changing his entire kit could have been used to fund actual reworks. I mean, for God's sake, they pushed Skarner's rework back a whole year, Cho'Gath still doesn't have any lore, and Malphite's head still looks like it's his nose. I am angry. I truly am. They took away the most unique and awesome champion in the game and gave us whatever this is. I originally wanted to start this video off with a montage of this guy, but all of his abilities look like such shit that I just spent the next 40 minutes making what you're about to see.
Gravity made me on quicksand, because I really couldn't tell how deep my footprints went. The vertex of my redemption arc, the searching on that virgin heart. I'm catatonic in your arms, cried how did I cause so much harm? I'm down pounding my head against the kitchen floor, apologizing for my life and never entering yours. Don't say I'm sorry, but this can't go on. I know you've got scars of your own, but hide my knife before you go. Alive and live or die alone.
It's impossible to make this guy look cool. He just looks like he's in pain whenever you use his Q.
I can't take it anymore! I just want to die!
He's no longer this bragging, sassy son of a bitch. He's become generic and boring. It's like the team working on his abilities were given 2 words: star, dragon. And then they said, alright everybody, any and all questions will be answered after the rework is released. Good luck. You can't tell me these abilities don't sound generic as fuck. Falling star, singularity, astral flight. I'm 100% certain I've heard these exact names in World of Warcraft. Where is the impact? Where in any of these abilities does it make it clear that he is a god and not a generic dragon? I'll tell you where it is. It's in the goddamn grave with Celestial Expansion, Center of the Universe, Voice of Light, and Comet of Legend. These are ability names. These are what made him feel like a legend and are thematically in line with what he does and what he is. Center of the universe. He created everything that we know and he's self-centered. What more do you want? Celestial expansion. He's still expanding the universe and making more stars, more worlds, and being a sassy bitch towards all of them. I love him! Voice of light. It's him bragging about how great his voice sounds and how heavenly it is. Which I can't argue with. I could listen to Neil Kaplan's voice all day. It's like audible chocolate. And Comet of Legend is him calling himself a legend because there simply are no other dragons like him. Also, he can't boop. He can't boop anymore. Why am I even still arguing this? There was genuinely no reason for his rework. He was fine in the meta, he was thriving in ranked, and all of the items served him just as well as they did before. I feel like I'm yelling into a brick wall. Why would you even care about what I have to say about this guy? I just wish we could go back to the way things were before. Playing him now just feels like a kick in the nuts. The fact that I and others who liked his old playstyle spend hours of our lives learning to play him, only for that effort to go down the drain, makes me feel empty and sad. If this is the future direction Riot is going to be taking with reworks from now on, I genuinely don't know what to think. And that's exactly the feeling that New Age Sol gives me. Malcontent.
Thank you.